Mistakes are part and parcel in the game of life, but when it comes to sports, a single screw-up can cost a lifetime of regret, not to mention painful embarrassment. Let's light up the torch for these 11 most shocking mistakes in sports. What's up, Fact Fanatics? This is Discovery Amuse, serving up your daily dose of the most outrageous, outlandish, and out-of-this-world fun facts. Stay tuned for our number one pick because it involves the world's fastest runner. Ready? Set? Let's go! Number 11. Escobar's own goal. Nope, he's not related to the infamous drug lord, but Colombian player Andres Escobar has made a name for himself in the world of professional soccer. However, the sport that put his name on the map eventually caused his untimely demise, all because of one mistake he made inside the pitch. During the 1994 FIFA World Cup match between USA and Colombia, when Escobar attempted to block a cross from the American team, Escobar inadvertently deflected the ball into his team's own net. The US ended up winning the match 2-1. When Escobar returned to Colombia, he was spending a night out with his friends. Escobar was approached in the parking lot by Humberto Castro Munoz, a bodyguard for drug cartel leader Santiago Gallon. An argument ensued and the Colombian footballer was shot 6 times by Munoz. Allegedly, Munoz's boss, Gallon, lost a painful bet due to Escobar's blunder, which led to the bloody murder. Gallon was sentenced to 43 years in prison, while Munoz served 11 years for the crime. Keep watching because our number one entry was one painful slip-up. Number 10. Leon Letdown. Here's a cautionary tale about showboating, brought to you by Leon Lett of the Dallas Cowboys. During the fourth quarter of Super Bowl 27, Lett converted a fumble and sprinted toward the end zone. But at the 2-yard line, he got a little too cocky for his own good and held out the ball, not knowing that the Buffalo Bills' Don Beebe was right on his tail. At the 11th hour, Beebe knocked the ball out of Lett's hands, successfully stopping a touchdown. However, the Cowboys still managed to secure the win in the end. Let that be a lesson for Lett. Number 9. Sports versus arts. We all know Babe Ruth to be the greatest baseball player in all of history. But did you know that there's an urban legend that Ruth was traded to the Yankees by the Red Sox so that the Red Sox owner could finance his own theatrical musical? According to legend, the Red Sox owner Harry Frazee, who was also a big investor in the world of theater arts, accepted an offer from the Yankees to buy Babe Ruth to the tune of $100,000 plus other benefits. The money was allegedly used by Frazee to fund the production of a musical titled No No Nanette. Meanwhile, Ruth transitioned from pitcher to right fielder and quickly became one of the most prolific home run hitters in history. The Yankees also went on to win more World Series titles than any other team in baseball history. After Ruth was sold to the Yankees, the Red Sox failed to secure any World Series for 86 straight years, which was dubbed as the Curse of the Bambino, Ruth's previous alias. Number 8. Between the legs. Here's an example of that curse. Red Sox first baseman Bill Buckner amassed over 27 hits and enjoyed a very long, successful Major League Baseball career. But in the blink of an eye, Buckner nearly wiped away almost his entire career's worth of achievements. During Game 6 of the 1986 World Series, Buckner went 0 for 5 in the game, but his biggest mistake came in the bottom of the 9th inning when Mookie Wilson hit a routine ground ball towards first base. Buckner attempted to rush this play, but instead caused the ball to roll between his legs. This secured the win for the New York Mets to even the series at 3-3. In the end, the Red Sox lost Game 7-2, ending both their reign and making Buckner the butt of baseball jokes. Number 7. Slippery slope. Celebrating too early is a mortal sin for any athlete. If you need another reminder, check out this winning-turned-losing moment from American snowboarder Lindsay Jacobellis. At the 2006 Winter Olympics, Jacobellis zoomed past her rivals at the finals of the snowboarding event. She seemed all set to bag the gold, but going into the penultimate jump, Jacobellis wanted to show off some flair with a method grab that left her falling to the ground. As a result, Tanja Friedgen of Switzerland swooped from behind and snatched the gold. As for Jacobellis, well, she went home with a bruised knee and ego. Number 6. Lucky Slide. The thing about sports mistakes is that one athlete's loss is another athlete's gain, and no one knows this better than Olympic Aussie skater Stephen Bradbury. During the 1,000-meter short track speed skating event at the 2002 Winter Olympics, Bradbury was clearly lagging in the final lap. However, one small slip-up from Chinese skater Li Jiajun caused him and everyone in the race to tumble down like bowling pins. Well, everyone except for Bradbury. Not only did Bradbury bring home the bacon, his name also became synonymous with unexpected success in Aussie slang, as in, I hope you Bradbury that math exam, mate. Sorry to my Aussie friends. Number 5, foul ball fail. This next sports mistake was committed not by a player, but by a fan. During Game 6 of the 2003 NLCS match between the Chicago Cubs and the Florida Marlins, at the top of the 8th inning, Marlins' Luis Castillo hit a foul ball, which the Cubs outfielder Moises Alou tried to catch. But the fans near the play reached for the ball too. This guy in particular, who was later identified as Steve Bartman, disrupted Alou's potential catch, which would have been the second out in the inning. Poor Bartman was severely harassed by both the Cubs fans and the media, going as far as blaming him for the team's 95-year-old championship drought. But all's well that ends well, because more than a decade after the unfortunate incident, the Chicago Cubs awarded Bartman a championship ring after their victory in the 2016 World Series. Number 4, base running blooper. Ruben Rivera of the San Francisco Giants had a lackluster career in the major leagues and will go down in history as having the worst attempt at base running ever. In 2003, during a game between the San Francisco Giants and the Arizona Diamondbacks, Ruben Rivera of the Giants made one of the worst base running gaffes in history. What could have been a potential winning run ended up in a comedy of errors when Rivera reversed course, thinking that the ball hit by his teammate was caught. He then had to retouch second base, round third, and proceeded to home plate, where he was ultimately thrown out. The Giants broadcaster John Miller declared it as the worst base running in the history of the game, and Rivera was released from the Giants a week later. Number 3, the Butt Fumble. In 2012, the Jets QB Mark Sanchez became the butt of many jokes when he caused a scene on the field during an NFL game between the Jets and the Patriots. I'm sure Sanchez didn't have any posterior motives when he collided with the backside of his teammate Brandon Moore, causing a fumble. Sanchez lost possession of the ball, which was then recovered by the Patriots safety Steve Gregory and returned for a touchdown. The game and the infamous butt fumble in particular were remembered as the lowest point of the Jets' 2012 season. It is also considered as one of the most inept plays in NFL history and is also ranked by ESPN as the most embarrassing moment in the Jets' history. Sanchez must have been bummed out. Number 2, wrong way. Let's go back in time and reminisce the moment when football player Jim Marshall made one of the most memorable blunders in the history of football. The year was 1964, and the Minnesota Vikings were playing against the San Francisco 49ers. Marshall successfully recovered a fumble and seemed all set to score for his team. Look at him go! Run, Marshall, run! Wait, he's running towards his own end zone. Thinking he had won the game, Jim threw the ball in celebration until it dawned on him that he had actually gifted the 49ers a safety. Impressively, the Minnesota Vikings still managed to win the battle despite the blunder. Before we go to our number 1 pick, make sure to smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Don't forget to choose all so you won't miss out on any of our latest life-changing, boredom-busting content. And of course, be sure to turn on notifications in your app settings. Number 1, crashing into a legend. Who doesn't know Usain Bolt? the greatest sprinter of all time with a number of world records and Olympic gold medals under his belt. It seems like no one can put Bolt down. Well, that's until this cameraman followed him around. As Bolt was celebrating his second gold at the World Championships, this camera guy riding a Segway lost control while trailing the sprinter and took out Bolt by the legs. Ouch, dude, those are Bolt's greatest moneymakers. Oof. And there goes the camera too. It sure is the guy's worst day ever. Fortunately, both parties were unharmed and left the track in one piece. So, which of these made you cringe the most? Let us know in the comments section below. Take home our exclusive gear by browsing our merch shelf below or clicking the link in the video description. And while you're at it, take our quiz to find out how you can earn extra cash online doing what you do best. Awesome, right? And if you're craving more outrageous sports screw-ups, then don't miss our ranking of the funniest and most embarrassing moments in sports. Till then, stay competitive, Factnatics, and see you in the next video.